Okay, there we go. It's on. Question is, do I put it somewhere else? Yeah. My microphone is not loud enough. One sec. Input volume. Why is it on half? Let's put that to whoa, 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 whoa. And then turn it down a bit on OBS. That's better. Okay, that's better. We've normalized that now. I was on half for some reason. Okay. Get my joystick in the right place. All right. Do some offshore stuff today. We're going to be following checklists and try and do it as operationally, as close to operationally as possible. Real world stuff. I mean, I've gone. I need my streamed. Oh God. Stream Deck. Oh, it's come back. Okay, that's fine. Let's put that over there. Got a little Stream Deck profile that somebody set up so that I can AP. There we go. We can we've got heading bugs and vertical speed stuff on. Got a Stream Deck Plus with the dials, which is really nice to have. And, we're going to be pretending that we are all set for a day at work. This is Blackpool. This is where the offshore helicopter terminal should be. It's not modelled very well. Blackpool's one of the few remaining sort of what I'd call commercially busy airports, particularly when it comes to helicopter operations, that doesn't have any. Well, it does have there's some 2020 scenery, which was quite good, but it doesn't. For this helipad area, you get a load of extra helipad circles. It just looks ridiculous. Although some of the scenery is quite nice. There's too much stuff going on. I wonder where. Actually, I think I deleted it again. I did have it. I did try it because like a lot of the buildings and things do look quite nice, but I couldn't get over how many circles there were on the helipads here. Like 2 extra yellow circles plus the white circles all overlaid on top of each other. And it was too much. All my checklists are getting blown away. It's not ideal. Got the fan on. It's quite warm. Yeah, it's great, isn't it? It's such a versatile little piece of equipment for flight sim, particularly the Plus with the dials. I use it for all kinds of things. Obviously, I use it for my streaming stuff here as well, but being able to use it for flight sim and just have push buttons. So I've got the autopilot push buttons on there. I haven't. Whoever created this, I can't remember. Someone on Discord posted it on the Taog Discord. And it's got all the important stuff on there. Some nice push buttons for the autopilot the dials. You can change frequencies as well, a bit easier. Yeah, it's good, really good. I was looking at possibly... Oh, it's just been updated. Has it? That's interesting. As in the last few days, or... Because I downloaded this probably a week ago, maybe? I can't remember when. It's on Flight Sim TO, isn't it? Let me just have a quick look at this. Past day. Oh, right. Oh, then I definitely want that. There's lots of liveries. What's the Stream Deck? Stream Deck. Oh, I'm not going to be able to find it now, am I? Damn it. Hey, you up? Can't find it. Can't. Let's get if I Discord. Hello, Melina me. Oh no, I've got to find the link on Discord. Oh, this is hopeless. Wait a minute. Who made it? Roll. Thank you. Roll 76. That will help me. I'm using Spring. Yeah, I'm using a standard Thrustmaster. The Warthog sprung centered, quite strongly sprung centered joystick. It's not ideal, but that's what it is. Roll 76. There we go. Update available. Oh, super. Version 1.1. Update to the added functions for ADF tuning and horn switch. Oh, okay. Right. I won't do that right now, but that's good to know. Thank you. It sounds like I've got most of what I need here. Let's jump in quickly and put the so that I can have the steps. Oh, actually, I'll tell you what. Let's see if the steps will stay open now that the because they used to close. Oh, good. That's good. They fixed that. So cold and dark starts. The steps should be open really, because it's very difficult to get in and out of these things without the step. so they're always open for shutdown and a cold and dark start. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, what we're going to do today is just do a bit of make believe, pretend that we're real pilots doing some real offshore shuttling. There's a nice. I have got the Aerosoft North Sea landmarks offshore thing. Installed, but it's rubbish. It's not rubbish. It's just really not very good. Particularly for the Irish Sea stuff, because all the platforms, a lot of the platforms are not there where they're supposed to be. You've got some completely fictitious platforms which don't exist, and some of the platforms which do exist are not in there for some reason. I don't know why. Oh god. What is... Oh, it's alright. My computer apparently is struggling to, when I whiz around, trying to keep up with the LED changes. Anyway. So yeah, let's do that then. Let's crack on with that. I've got the checklist here. This is actually an N3 checklist, but it's my old work checklist, and it's mostly relevant. And I'll try and follow that. And we're going to fly to one of the platforms that's just out offshore, only a few miles away, really. But it's one of the Microsoft ones, so it's a nice, highly detailed model. It's not one of the Aerosoft ones. I don't like the look of the Aerosoft ones, really. And my helicopter is lavender. There we go. We'll not do too much of that. Let's jump in. Okay. Got to make sure all my... Oh yeah, there we go. It's just catching up. My lines are in the right place. Okay, good. What else do I need? Okay, let's find the start checklist. I'm just going to do this. On my own for now, if that's right. Pre-start checks, right from the top. Then battery relays are off. Doors. We could close the door now. There we go. Doors closed. Harnesses, yeah, we get strapped in. Seats controls adjusted. Circuit breakers. Check all the circuit breakers are in. You can't actually move them on this model, so but you would just run your hand over these, make sure none of them are raised and popped out. Start my horizon. I'll try and use my views for this. I hope it's not too jarring. So my horizon goes on. The light should come on to confirm that it's running off the battery. And give that a quick... Oh, they're all together. Give that a quick erect. To make sure that it's in the right place. Standby horizons on. Inverters. Oh god. They're all in the wrong order. Apparently. Inverters go on, battery relays go on. 1, 2, generators go on. We don't need the lighting, I'll turn that off in a minute. Wander lights, they should be off, we don't need those. Heating and ventilation, both those are off. Rotor brake, that's already off, that should be on really. It would have been left on for shutdown. Yellow handles, so they should be back and locked. Back and locked. Red handles, they should be wire locked really in place. The lights are off and the levers are forward. Instrument lighting, we don't need the instrument lighting. We will turn the notices on. We don't need the cabin lighting, external lighting, so we'll turn the anti-core and the position lights on. Engine fire warnings. Let's get over here. So we go to fire, And in fact, let's just cancel the alarm. So, why is the limit light on? Why is the limit light on? It's gone off. Okay. Yeah, test, fire, should bring on the alarm and fail. And the other one, test, fire, should bring on the alarm and fail. I'd isolate. Is this one here? That's the event of some sort of hydraulic leakage. That is in the normal position where it's going to stay. The horn is currently on. Oh, I was going to bind that to something and I've forgotten. Mission selector is to normal. That's this one here. That's sorry, that's to off. Trim feel, that should be on all the time. That's this one here, the cyclic trim feel. Pitos are both off for start. ATC is no option here for that. AVAD, there's an option at the top, but there should be. I'm not sure how to test this unit. You push that one. Oh, there we go. No voice, no audible. Okay. No, there's no AVAD. Standby compass. You just check that's pointing roughly in the right direction. We're heading vaguely west. CAP. We give that a good test. Check all the lights are on. Check there's no bulbs on each. Not sure if you can see it here, and it doesn't actually. I don't think it's actually modelled like that, but in each of these captions, there are two little filament bulbs, one for each of the electrical sides. So one for buzz 1. Why is that on 0.2? I don't know. One for the one for buzz 1, one for buzz 2. And it's quite common for one of those bulbs to break. Hey, Bramblebeard. But it's all working. And of course you get your alarm light and the autopilot lights come on. We're checking the floats, and there's lots of bulbs that we can't see. Should we check all these as well? Floats should come on, and the fuel panel and the autopilot, all those lights. Super. That's done. CAP's tested the limit. So we do a little. Look. Is that not done that? Should be able to test, push this. Oh, there we go. Just test the bink. T's and B's, all good. They're all residual. Torque meter. Sorry, T's and B's, yeah. Torque meter is in 1+2. The flag should appear when it goes to 2. That flag should appear. Torque meter is checked. Energy gauges, test those. Should bring the light on. It goes to this little sequence. That's the max, and that one. Okay, standby altimeter. We don't have one of those, I don't think, on this one. Emergency floats. Just testing again. The integrity of the system really should get both sides light up. And back to off. And gear panel. Again, all the bulbs. There's 2 sets of bulbs in each one, so 6 bulbs in all. LG pump switch is to. Let me just show you where that is properly. Oops, this is the landing gear pump switch down here. Normal emergency test. That's currently in normal. Servo cargo. We've got a servo caption there, and then we check that goes out, and we should see overheat and cargo fire when we push this. Sorry, that one. There you go. Servo cargo. Just so it disappears, overheat and cargo come on. And limit load detect. So this is now going to test the limit system as well as a sort of functional check of the flight controls. And we're going to put this as an electric hydraulic pump. You've got 2 normal engine driven or gearbox driven hydraulic pumps, but you've got an electrical sort of emergency hydraulic pump here as well, which serves as a way to lower the undercarriage. But also on the ground you can pressurize. So where's Hyde 1? This gauge here, no, that should, Hyde 1 should pressurize on the real thing, and you now have hydraulic pressure with which to move the flight controls. So the lever should come up, should bink at the top, there you go, and when you move the cyclic we should get forward limit, backward limit, and you can do a sort of full and free movement check with the controls. Back to the centre, lever goes down, and then as we go back to emergency, LG pump should go out briefly, it doesn't, and then come back on again as it goes back into emergency, and then back to normal, and the light goes out. That's the limit load check. The clocks, we check that they are, was it 5:30? It is actually 5:30. And you've got to wind those up if necessary. Battery voltage, so check we've got some, I haven't got external power batteries, got enough voltage for the start there. Emergency cutoff, that's this bar here, which combines the two switches underneath it, one for each bar, so that should be up and wire locked. Or telltale locked. AP switches, so they're all forward. There. GPS, yeah, that's on. That's fine. That's going to do its. So I've got the old unit in here. We're going to go old school with this one. GPS fuel panel, quick test of the pumps, transfer left and right, and I'll do a quick test of the gauge. That should go to 0 and back to what we've got, 520 or something in there. 520, that's a lot, that's more than enough for today. Well, for what we're going to do now, which is basically an out and back. Compass controller, don't think we have the compass controller here for some reason. Oh, that's compass controller there. There you go. Yes, we do. Good. So 2 compass controllers there. Can you change them? Oh, you can. Okay, so they're both, oh wait, they're both in DG at the moment. They should be in magnetic. Wait a minute. Yeah, they should be a magnetic. When you go offshore, you switch these to direct gyro. So there's 2 compass systems in the aircraft, and they're obviously normally driven by magnetic fields, as per any other magnetic compass. And when you go to offshore, you're landing on this giant metal structure. So what you want to do is remove the interference from that by switching them to a direct gyro mode, so where it just simply acts as a gyro without reference to the magnetic side of things. But they should be in magnetic for the start. So where have we got to? Compass controller done. CPI. I don't think we've got an ADELT in here, or crash position indicator. No, normally, or in offshore, most offshore fits, you'll have a CPI with the crash position indicator and an ADELT, which is the sort of the deployable emergency locator transmitter, but that's not fitted today, so it's fine. And COM1, then turn that on for start. That's the pre-start checklist complete. Just give me 1 second. Just bear with me 1 second. I'll just go attend to something. I'm back in a sec. Okay, sorry about that. Okay. Guess about that. Sorry. Book. Right, back in the room. So normally we get we'd have both boxes on. Hang on, why have I turned? Right. We'd have both boxes on there. We'd have 9, 9, 5, 5, which is Blackpool. I was in two minds whether or not to do VATSIM for this, but I decided against it. And then we'd have an ops frequency on there, which I won't put on. We just, So we'd get ATIS. In fact, that's a good point. What is the? You can get it up here as well, can't you? UGNH. Waypoint. ATIS 127205. Uh, 1, 2, 7. Oh, 5. Is that gonna work? Oh yeah, nice. Sorry, 2-1. I think this is still bugged, you know. So it's information Sierra 1021. But oh, hey, I've turned it off. Why is that still squawking at me? I've turned it off. Okay. 1021. So elevation here is really only 30 feet above sea level. So setting 1021. We've got live weather on. It should give you 30 feet on here, but it's not. So we're going to artificially call that 1017, because 30 feet is what those altimeters should be reading. I think these are not. For some reason, there's a calibration issue at the moment with this aircraft. Anyway, so we'd call Taog for start, and we'd go to our engine start checklist. So start brief, start of flight start number 1. Actually, what's the date today? It's the 18th, so it's an even day. So we'd start number 2. You'd alternate the days for the start sequence. So I've got these bound to my. That's not going to be helpful, is it? What do you want to see? Engine instruments or levers? Let's do what we do with the real thing. Let's look at the engine instruments. So we're going to start number 2. I'm going to press the starter button and move forward into the idle slot, and then wait for the light, and then we modulate. Right, slide 2. There's the click for the idle. Wait for the light. There goes the light. So in real life I bring it back. I don't actually have to do that because it's sort of a pre-programmed T4 sequence. I'm just going to hold that to 40%, which is the self-sustaining speed. 40%, I'll release the starter. Generators come online, hopefully. Let's put that to Gen 2. No, not yet. Okay. Oh no, it hasn't because the caption's still. And I'm just advancing the fuel flow control lever all the way forward now, slowly. There's the horn. I need to bind that so that I can turn it off without looking up to the top. I'll put that all the way forward into flight now. Horn will go off. And that should stabilise. Okay, that's number 2 engine started. I didn't hear the... Just make sure that is fully forward. Yeah, okay. Okay, that's started. Again, standard flight start number 2. I haven't turned the booster pumps on. That's what I missed from the checklist. So all the pumps should be on. Start number 2. Same thing. Starter. Ground idle. Wait for the light. The T4 modulate so it doesn't shoot past about 700 or 800. And slowly advance. And as we get to 40, release the starter. And keep pushing forward to accelerate the engine. Wait for Gen 1 to go out. It's Gen 1, both Jennies online. That's forward. Needles should join. And they're both in flight. Still odd to see not getting both to ground idle. Yeah, we very rarely run both at ground idle. We always went straight to flight idle. Right, that's 2 engines up and running. So we're on to the post-start checks. GPU, we didn't have that connected. Electrical system to test. I'm not going to do that here because it doesn't actually work. But normally, is it the first flight of the day? Might not be the first flight of the day. Let me set that pin up. Normally, you would check that the generators are both resetting okay, and check inverter functions and check that the right captions are coming on. It's not actually simulated, so I won't bother doing that. P2 valve leak check, I don't think that's simulated either. Hide auto cut off, heating auto cut off, I don't think that's simulated. Hide isolate, so we just check this is functional and go to off, and we should have a hide level and servo caption, which we do, and that can go back to normal, and those captions should clear, which they do. Pitos on. What's my place? Pitos radalt, we've checked that already. The CAP should really only have the steps in the autopilot, which it does. T's and P's, they're all good in the green now. Oil temp is quite high for some reason. Oil pressure's a bit too low for a cold. Oh, it shouldn't be. Yeah, I think we need to have a little play with those parameters. T's and P's flight instruments. Check, so erect, stable, airspeed 0, compasses look sensible, BSI's on 0, altimeter looks sensible. Altimeter check, well we've just discussed that these are not correctly calibrated, but you one way to check the altimeters to set 1013. Actually I can use this, look at that, wonderful. 1013, and you would check 900, and you go, or sorry, check 0. 1016, so 1026 should give you about 300 feet. Or 270 feet, which it does, and then the other way, which it does, and what were we saying, 1017 or something. Oh, hang on, that's right, 10. Oh, that's interesting. Now I've got a mismatch between what the Stream Deck is telling me and what's on here. That is interesting. So 1021. Oh, actually, that makes sense. Yeah, there's just a needle calibration here, I think, issue. It says 17 here, but QNH was 1021, which gives me 30 feet, which is what it actually should be. Okay. So cargo oxide. Right, Alspeed's check, server cargo and oxide. So again, quick check of the server cargo. The server light should be coming on. All three captions should come on, so you should have overheat, cargo fire, and servo should be coming on there. I don't know why the server light isn't coming on. And we're going to check the oxide system as well. So this detects an overpressure in the hydraulic system, the auxiliary hydraulic system, which is what the gear runs on. So if it gets stuck, then it will warn you with a aux hide caption, but it comes on with a 15-second delay so that you don't get spurious captions coming on every time you operate the undercarriage. So we tested that. Volts and amps, again, Gen 1, Gen 2 matched, 1 and 2 for the inverters are all matched. AFCS test, so we'll pretend it's first start of the day, so we're going to engage that, 1 and 2, and we're going to run the test, and that'll run its internal test sequence. And hopefully we get a 0 at the end of that. There we go, that's a 0, so no faults found. When we put this back to the, or to take it out of the run position, these galvas should move, but I don't think they do. No, so they should go to full scale deflection, and then the other way full scale deflection, and then back to the middle, but they don't at the moment. Anyway, let's release the autopilot again. FCS is back off. PA, we don't have a PA to test. Radios and nav aids, radar, so we're going to check that these are all turned on now. I'm going to set... Okay, now do I have... Oh yeah, I do. So 108, 15 on that one, and 108, 15. This is the Blackpool ILS, and will also give us DME 15 on that one. 1815, 1815, and do I also have an ADF somewhere? Oh, I think that was on the update, wasn't it? So we want 318 on there. So 3. I could change the end one, and then to get the middle one, I push the button, and it changes the middle number. 318, and that's the Bravo Papa Lima ADF. Okay, cheers, dude. Catch you later. And we're going to put 0453 on here in standby. That's test for our squawk. Res nav aids, radar are done. Then traffic terrain, we don't have a TORS. Why is that still? Oh, because the autopilot. Do we have TORS? I don't think we have TORS. Traffic terrain, fuel panel. So we'll just check that engine doesn't flame out or something silly. Why Oh yeah, okay. So, and the fuel P light should come on with both pumps off. That's off. Transfer, we've done that already, I think. Okay. Fuel panel, gearbox vibration. I don't think there's a gearbox. So, sometimes a gearbox monitoring or vibration monitoring piece of equipment on the floor, you press that and make sure that it's not showing unusual vibrations in the main rotor gearbox. That's not fitted on this aircraft. I wonder if that was standard fit or whether it was a supplement. Don't know. Anyway, that is post-start checks complete, you'll be glad to hear. Let's go back to our pre-taxi checks now. So steps, you can close those. Oops. I need to change around some of the order of these views. Steps closed. Doors are closed. The caption on the CAP is clear. One light T's and P's. No captions, just the AFCS, and T's and P's are all good in the green. Landing lights, that can go on. FCS is off. Nose wheel lock is out, and the parking brake can come off. Oh, I don't hold it bound. Okay, I'll hold it on the toes. Right. Now, what I haven't done, of course, is tell the aircraft where we're going. Good point. I don't even know what it's called. Can I access a map? No, not that one. So it's here. Are you going to tell me what it is? No, because that's Navigraph. Oh. What is the what's the default? What's the default? Map? Key? Or I want to find out what Microsoft calls this waypoint. Display map. Oh, bloody hell. M? Wait a minute. I don't want to bloody... whatever. How is that not like a standard bind? Okay. Oh, bloody hell. What's that? Oh, there we are. OL427. So, is that in here? Question? LMNO L 4 2 7 Valaris, Norway. Hey, it's in there. That is awesome. What? No. Okay. Duplicate waypoints. What are you talking about? Oh, jeez. Okay. Apparently, I really need to know how to work that. Let's see if I fare any better with the PMS. Oh, 427. Duplicates found. Oh, I see. Oh, right. It's that one. I understand now. Okay. So it's saying that there were two for some reason. Anyway, that's our route. Blackpool. Hello? What the hell's going on? Yes. Why can't... Oh, it's good. Whatever. Right, that's where we're going. Good. And we're going to make sure that's in nav. So it's pointing the right way, it's giving us a range. I'm good to go. We've still got some fuel left, yep. Good. Do you know what I haven't got? Is packs. That's a good point. Let's get the packs on. Aircraft, flight performance, mass and balance, seats. So quick. Feel going to be quite full today. Right, aircraft. Right, immediately. Everyone's on board. Yeah. Nobody's wearing motion seats. Jesus, look at those earrings. Holy Christmas. That is earrings found. Okay. Right, pre-taxis are done. The wind was... what's the wind? .340 at 12. So we'll go off runway 31. That's live weather. Actually, no, we'll just go off 28. I'll take the crosswind. We'll just go off 28. So we'd call up taxi, and they would probably give us, okay, taxi via Bravo and Delta 2. ATC in this flight sim is just so bad. And it's so set up for the American way of doing things and not at all what we do here in the UK. So I have utter contempt for it, I'm afraid. Right, that's all done, that's all done. Let's take... the parking brake is off. Yeah, good. We'll taxi out. All the packs are on. Taxi checks are done. Parking brake's off. Off we go. So let's apply a little bit of power, a little bit of forward. Cyclic. And then hard round to the left. Bit of cyclic into the turn. That's the grass, it's no problem. Don't worry about that. Just rushed out of there a little bit. It's fine. Okay, nothing coming. Nothing coming. Okay, we're going to taxi out to the main runway. About 10 to 15 knots is good for the taxi. Don't go too fast, really. Quite top heavy, these things. And while we're doing that, we can run through the before takeoff checks. So seatbelt notices, we turned those on. Altimeter tried out MEA, so we've got our QNH set. We're going to set 200 on here for our ride out setting. Flight instruments checked and set. Transponder, radios and nav aids. So transponder, radios and nav aids, everything's set up. We're just going to put that on to altitude reporting. Fuel, so we've got enough fuel for what we want to do. Brief. We'll be doing a class 1 crew area departure from runway 28 with standard calls monitoring up to 500 feet initially. In fact, we'll stay, we've got to 500 feet, stay at 500 feet because it's so close. And it'll be a left turn to the Rowan Norway, whatever it's called. Steps, so we'll close the steps now. Steps can close. Oh, I closed them already, apparently. Right. Doors are all closed. 1 T's and P's, all good. In the green, just the ASCS to come. Landing light is on. And we'll hold it there for a minute. All done. Good job, Lena Me. My superhero. Hello? That's normal, is it? That's fine, don't worry about that. Nicely on the yellow line. Good stuff. Okay, as we come up to the holding point, we check the heating is off, which it is. We don't want the heating on because it takes bleed air away from the engines. External lights, we put the anti-coil on. We don't have any strobes to put on, I don't think. And at the takeoff point, nose wheel lock is off, parking brakes off. Floats can stay off for this bit, and as we line up, I'll put the autopilot in. Right. So we're through Delta 2, we're just going to line up runway 28. Alright, bring it to a stop there. Let's put the autopilot in, lane 1 and 2. There's nothing else to set. I'll just swing the heading bug round onto what we've got at the moment. It's the runway heading. We're all good. Okay, T-speed's all good. Let's lift into the hover. So force trim release down, pulling back a little bit to prevent the roll forward. A little bit of right pedal and into the hover. I've checked TBs, all good in the green, no captions. About a 6-foot hover. We're going to rotate through 10 degrees, nose down. Modulate the power to keep the height. Looking for our TDP. Up there, and let's VTOS. Keep balance. Still got force trim release in. Keep a bit more power on there to get the climb. And releasing force trim. And now I'm on beep trim for some smaller adjustments. Just going to pitch the nose down a bit as we approach 500. I forgot to put the coupler in. That couple should be in. No, we'll put the flight. No, we'll leave the flight director. Leveling off at 5, so I'm doing that with the beep trim, and we're leveling off there. I'm going to put out and heading, and that's going to level us off nicely at 500 feet. And gear up, turning left, on track. Right, after takeoff checks, wheels are up, floats not armed currently, 365, no we don't have that, altimeters checked and set, radar, not using the radar today, radius navigator is required, pretty much see where we're going. Compasses look good on both and at the top, brakes are fixed on lights, everything's on. And there's no cabin brief required at the moment. Cruise check, sizing, external lights, altimeters radar MEA set, lights and P's good, fuel is enough, radios navigator set as required. We would talk to Wharton probably on the way out here, so we'd have a frequency change, get basic service from Wharton. And then we talk to Offshore and say, yeah, we're on our way with you in whatever this says. Or 3 minutes to go, so what the time is now, with you at, I don't know, 1:03. And we've got 10 on board, fuel endurance of 1.5 hours, 1 hour 20 minutes, something like that. Good, you can see it out there, it's really close, it's a busy sector. We're going to go straight into approach checks. In fact, let's bring the speed back. And to do that, I'm just going to lower the lever because we've got out hold in, we've got heading hold in, so I'm controlling the speed with the collective. And if I just lower the collective, we'll bring that right back down to about 50%. And that's going to pitch the nose up, bring the speed back. Right into the approach checks. Initials, wheels can come back down again. External lights, everything's on as required. Altimeters, radar, MEA are all set. We're going to leave 200 on the bug. Fuel's fine, we can get there and back. Nose wheel lock is going to come on. Parking rate's going to go on. Landing gear is down locked with 3 greens. Nav aids are set as required. Approach landing brief, I'll do it in a second, and cabin brief. So the approach landing brief, the wind they gave at Blackpool was 320, thereabouts, northwesterly, northwesterly, something like that. So we'll be flying past the platform. I'm trying to remember which side the deck is on for here. Let's fly past it. So it's on my side, and it's going to be a 180 more or less. I'll be a right hand turn onto final. So we got the Lennox, this is an Aerosoft one where the Lennox is supposed to be, and this is a Microsoft one for the Rowan Norway, which doesn't actually, it's not actually here anymore, it's a jack up, so it moves around, lifts its legs up and can motor under its own power. And that's not here anymore. It's gone somewhere else to do another job somewhere. But That's actually a left-hand seat landing for that wind, I think. Yeah, it's a left-hand seat landing. That's a bit annoying. What's the Lennox? Perhaps we'll go to the Lennox instead. Oh, Lennox is a left-hand seat landing as well. So again, with these aerosoft platforms, they're not always in the right place, and the deck orientations are not accurate. The platforms look nothing like the real things at all. Yeah, whatever. So what I might do is, can I switch seats? I don't think I have a seat set up for the other side. Okay, we'll have to do a cross deck landing, which is not, you wouldn't normally do that. The guy with the better visuals would always land. That's what you should do. Let's have a look. I need a range. What do we got? Oh, there should be a range on here actually. We're a mile out, so we'll spin it around. I've lost my Stream Deck profile. Actually, let me get it back because I want that. There we go. Heading. It is. There we go. Just bring the speed back up. Well, not too. Can't bring it too back. Minimum speed for heading and stuff is VY, which is 75 knots. So we'd have to bring the coupler out at that point anyway. Let's don't go too far around. Let's come back this way a bit. We'll set ourselves up for the around Norway, I think. Finals checks, then landing gears down, locked, heaters off, house thread out, army A, set required landing sites. Yeah, we'll get deck clearance. The floats go to arm below 90 knots. I'm going to bring the coupler out now because we've gone below VY. And we'll do a slightly awkward approach to the round Norway. Don't let it balloon. Just keep the 500 feet. So it's checks complete, and we get a nice little deck clearance. So row Norway, HLO, gold, whatever we are. Deck availability, please. He says, yeah, row Norway, decks available. Thank you very much. Ooh, the thing has happened. There's music playing, which means the notifications are not coming up though, so I can't tell you what that music means. But somebody did something nice, so if that's a follow or a subscription, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. It's not even coming up on my chat for some reason. Right, the road in Norway deck height is quite low, so we're just going to get a nice little descent on here. Not too fast, and let the speed trickle back. More or less into wind. I'm just letting it drift around slightly. It's going to be difficult because I'm not going to have the visual references. Okay, let's just bring the speed back. So we slow down. I'm going to go into forced trim release. A bit of a jump. I'm going to cop the nose off to the left because I can't see the deck. And we'll call that committed to the deck because we've got no go around anymore. Okay, got a nice sight picture down the window. We have arrived. I think that's probably a good position there. I don't have VR or anything, so this is all a little bit difficult. We'll land on there. That's a good position. Okay, there we go. Brakes? The brakes on? Yeah, brakes are on. So I feel like I was rolling forward. Okay, we're on deck. Probably a little bit too far forward there. Talk about deck positioning in a second. Let's do the landing checks, then offshore. That's onshore stuff. Where's my offshore checklist? After landing offshore, AFCS, that goes off. Hello? There we go. AFCS is off. I can't remember these. Floats, 365, lights. I kind of can actually. Anti-coal goes off, and the steps are going to go open. And let's do it by the checklist now. Where are we? So the alarm flashing. I might go off. Offlanding offshore. FCS collector is locked. Floats done. 365 was new. Steps are open. External lights and seatbelt notices as well. They can go off as well actually. So seatbelt notices. Whoops, that's the position light. Seatbelt notices off. And the packs can get out. Oh, it's on here, isn't it? Oh, I've already got to do this. Go on. I've lost my co-pilot as well. He's gone down for the toilet. I'm Dauphin pilots watching a real Dauphin pilot flying a fake Dauphin helicopter. I'll probably need my co-pilot back. Generous 82. There we go. Now I can get out. So positioning the aircraft, I've gone a bit too far forward there, but the correct positioning for landing, and I'm not quite on centre either. It's very difficult when you're using VR, using 2D. That's my excuse that way. Your seat, your bottom on the seat should be over the inner portion of this yellow circle. So actually, I should be back probably a couple of feet. That is correct positioning, and if you land like that, you are ensuring that your tail, regardless of what type of helicopter you are, as long as the deck is certified for your helicopter, your tail is going to be clear of any obstacles. That's the idea. And obviously you should be in the middle of the deck ideally, which I'm not, so I should be over here by about 5 feet and back by about 2 feet, and that's optimum deck positioning. Why can't I click this? So got the packs off, check the boots empty, which it is, lovely stuff. Jump in, close the door. Click spot I can never find. Yeah, and we don't go to idle. Someone asked on Discord earlier if we go to idle for the offshore landings. We do not. We do not go to idle for those. All right. So what we'll do back inbound is another procedural RLS. Or pretend. In fact, let's do that. That's a good idea. Let's make the weather really bad. There's no fog option. We can make it rainy, probably. This we're going to bring all the way down to the surface, and we're going to make it overcast. Hello? Why did it say broken? Anyway, that is overcast. So quite poor weather now. Visibility's right down. So minimum offshore departure visibility is 250 meters. That's our minimum for departure. I think that's probably not far off it, but then again the minimum for the ILS at the other end is 600 meters. So we don't want to go too bad. But that'll do. That should give us a nice sci-fi recovery. So weather's clamped in, we've got to get back to Blackpool, so it's going to be an ILS on runway 28. And we don't have Wharton for vectors, they're closed because it's a weekend, so it's going to be procedural. So let's run through how we're going to set that up. We'll start with the before takeoff checks. This is the offshore before takeoff checks. We've got no packs, but the seatbelt notices can go on anyway. Brief, I'll do the brief in a second. The doors are closed, the deck crew's clear, close the steps. Wind lights, C's and P's are all good in the green. Heating's off, external lights, anti-coil goes back on. Anti-coil is always turned off when you land offshore as a signal that it's clear for the HLO, the deck crew, to come to the aircraft and do what they've got to do. They won't approach the aircraft with the anti-coil still on. They shouldn't approach the aircraft with the anti-coil on. Steps 1 to be used, that's done. External lights are on. Floats will go to arm, and the ASS will put in 1 and 2. But before we do that, we'll do the brief. Or before we get going, we'll do the brief. And the brief will be standard PC2 departure from offshore. And we're going to climb up to 3,500 feet. Let's get, because we'll do a little brief for the ILS, basically. Get that done so we're all prepared. Get the aircraft set up because it's such a short sector. Ignore that. Ignore that. Don't need to know about that. EGNH. Charts, approach, ILS, DME, runway 28. Right, 3,000 feet is what we want. And we're going to go to the Bravo Papa Lima, which is tuned 318. And we've got it selected. I like that one on ADF. Alright, what's going on? Why are we moving? What is going on? Oh, because the autopilot's in probably. It does some funky stuff. Hello? Why are we moving? What's going on here? Hang on. Christ. I don't know what's going on. No, we're still moving. That's a problem, isn't it? I don't know what's going on. I haven't done anything. Let me lift up into the hover. Let it stable. Stabilise. Stabilise. The autopilot's out at the moment, so I'm a bit more wobbly than normal. Put it down. Can you just stay there, please? What the hell is going on? Just pause the sim. Let's remove any wind there might be. Is the wind? Something happened to the wind? No? Pause. Right, I don't know what's going on. I'm just going to pause it because there's something strange afoot. Can't explain that. It's just decided to start blowing me off the deck. Very weird. Very weird. No, I've generally got no idea what's going on with that. Let's try and set this up anyway. Yeah, ILS. We want VOR2 for that. We want the course to be 27. Let's get our briefing chart back up here. Final approach track 275. Wang that round. 275. So yeah, climb up. We're heading this direction. Right turn, so that we're going within. Need to be within 30 degrees of the beacon in order to go outbound. Outbound on 095 from 3,000 feet, descending to 2,000 feet. There's a procedure turn at 6 miles. Be left turn. There's no wind. I've just taken all wind away, so be left turn on 050 for 1 minute, and then a right turn to intercept the localizer, and we can expect to descend with a glide path from about 6 miles all the way down to 5. 230 feet will be our decision altitude, and the minimum RVR for helicopters is 600 meters for this approach. We've got everything set up. 815 is in both boxes. 318 is set for the Bravo Papa Lima. 275 is in the window. 230 is going to be DH. We'll set. What do we normally set for that? What do we used to set with that? I think we'll just leave it on 200. Yeah, so that's the approach. We can, of course, also set it up in here. Whoops. Flight plan. Let's remove that. Okay. EGNH. Hello. Back. Procedures. Approach. Blackpool. ILS-28. Bravo Papa Lima. We can load and activate that. So that's also. That's now in the FMS as well. And we've got a nice pretty picture drawn for that. Okay. Not that I'm actually going to use that. We're going to fly this raw data on the instruments. Right, so that's done. Before takeoff, checks complete. AFCS. Oh, right. Well, I've got to make sure I can actually get off the ground without. I'll unpause it now and see what happens. Oh, some weird stuff's going on. Let's pop the autopilot in quickly with the couple and we'll lift. What is going on? It's like the wheels are in reverse or something. Once I lift it to the hover, it seems to be okay. Very strange. Anyway, let's get to the edge of the deck. Oh, no, something. Whoa, getting blown away. Okay, let's just go. Up, 50, rotate. Not too much. We're going to go straight onto instruments here. Let go of the force trim release. Make sure we've got a climb on, pull bit more power through 55. Nose comes up. Good climb. Gear up. Through VY, above 500 feet, climbing nicely. Let's go onto instruments here. We're going to set vertical speed, bring the heading back round, and we'll go vertical speed heading, above 70, yeah, vertical speed and heading. We'll just come left a bit. Oh no, actually that's okay, that's okay. We're heading in a decent direction. Good climb. Let's go into the after takeoff checks. Floats can be disarmed. Back onto the onshore checks now. Arctic tracks wheels, our arc floats disarmed, altimeters in the climb past 1500 for 3000. Radar not using, radios nav aids are all set as required. Compasses, I forgot to put those into DG after all that speech I gave in the ground. Anyway, they're still in mag. Brakes can come off. And the nose wheel lock is free, I think. Brakes done, external lights are all on. Did I turn? Yeah, I think I did. Yeah, they're all on. Looking good. Okay. So, we climbed 3,000 feet. Let's just reduce the power a little bit here so we don't start zooming around everywhere. And as we approach 3,000, I'm just going to start reducing the vertical speed for a nice smooth level off. And once we hit 3,000 feet, we'll go into out. Out there, 3,000. I don't know why the flight director's on. That shouldn't be on. Why has that come on? I did not command it to be on. Okay. Flight director's appeared. As if by magic. Okay, so here we are, level at 3,000 feet. Heading. We've got Blackpool off to our right. So where we want to go outbound, let's get our chart back up. 09, isn't it? Hello? Where's my chart? This. Yeah, 095 outbound, so we're coming up to that now. I can turn right. So we've got the ADF on here, and we've got the ADF on here as well. We will have. There we go. Oh, hello. Yeah. ADF's on here as well. And we want to be near enough. Let's hold off there actually. Let that come round. We've still got 10 miles out. So we're going to push that needle around to about 095 and then turn in. And that should send us straight outbound at 3,000 feet. Alrighty. Let's just do some cruise checks. Icing, no, it's still nice and warm up here. There's a temperature gauge up here somewhere, so still +9 or something. It's fine, no signs of ice. External lights are all on. Outside MEA we've got set with the QNH, and I could bug up to 1,000 on here, which I should do really for some separation. But I'm going to go straight into approach check, so I'm just going to put that back down to 200. MEA. Yeah, we've got that on the plate. All 19Ps are all good. In the green, there's no captions, and the panel is clear. Fuel, we've got enough for the approach to get us back to Blackpool, and radius nav is set as required. So we haven't done. And let's just check that's coming around now, so we need to turn our heading bug back down to 095. Thereabouts. There's the back course coming in there as well, which shows we are in the ballpark. We've got 8 miles to run to the beacon, 3,000 feet, and as we approach the beacon, we'll keep the speed up actually until the turn, and then we'll start to bring the speed back to 100 knots for the approach. Trying to be commercially expedient. Right, this cruise is done. We'll go straight into the approach checks. So let's just lower the lever a little bit. About 65% will do. Right, initial approach checks, wheels come down. External lights are all on, outs thrown out, MEA, so again, as I said, QNH is set with bug 200. Fuel, still good. Nose wheel lock is off for this. In and confirm. Parking brake is on, or off rather, for the onshore landing. Landing gears down locked with 3 greens. Nav aid set. Approach landing brief, we've done the brief for the approach, and there's no packs on the back to the cabin brief. We should probably listen to the I don't know. I'm not sure if they ident. Oh well, you can ident the nav aids as well, obviously. That's initial approach checks complete, just the finals to come. Not much to see. Not much to see. So we're bang on our heading. 3 miles to run. We can check them out. And that looks good. Helps that there's no wind, obviously. That's parked itself for some reason. 2 miles, don't know what's happened with that. What's that parked itself? Got no ADF indication anymore. It's unusual, unusual things occurring. Feels like the aircraft's moving around a bit as well, even though there's 0 wind. Or does it? Perhaps there's some thermals associated with the clouds. Don't know. 1 mile. Half a mile. We're going to set our vertical speeds to something like that. As we go overhead, we're going to descend to 2,000 feet as per the plate. So this should show us tracking overhead the beacon, which it does more or less. There we go, the beacon's come back for some reason. And that's showing behind us now. We are beacon outbound, so we'll descend with vertical speed. So I'm going to engage vertical speed. Reduce the lever a little bit because we don't want to accelerate too much. And we're tracking 095 outbound. Awesome. Looking for 6 miles is our next activity. Well, we'll have to remember to level off at 2,000 feet probably first, and then we've got to proceed to the next 6 miles. We're going to turn left onto 050. $500 feet to go. Right, again, as we approach our altitude, just going to reduce the rate of descent. Just keeping an eye on that range as well. 4.5 miles. So 1.5 miles to go to the turn. 100 feet to go. Levelling off. That'll do. And out's going back in, and I'll just reintroduce the power a little bit because we've levelled off now, so the aircraft's going to pitch up very slightly and slow us down. 120 knots, so that's fine, you know, for where we are. We don't want to be 6 miles. Okay, turning left onto 050. Nearly missed the turn, and start the clock. We're going to go for a minute. Call it 55 seconds because I was slightly late with the turn. Right, there's no wind, so we can hold 050 quite happily. This is there should be a track across the ground, so if you got a crosswind from one direction or the other, you would make an adjustment to your heading to try and keep that track. And then you'd adjust the timing as well. So if you had a 10 knot tailwind, you'd take 10 seconds off your time. You do outbound for 50 seconds. Similarly, if you've got a headwind, you want to go out a bit further, so you do, 10 knot headwind would be 1 minute 10 seconds. So we're going to do the full minute, which we're coming up to now. I was a bit late, so we'll call it there. Back round we go. And we're going to try and turn on to some sort of intercept for the localizer. And now we're doing the turn. I'm going to start to reduce speed, and the way I'm going to do that is just by gently lowering the collective. The aircraft's going to manage the altitude, but as I reduce the power to hold that altitude, it's going to pitch up, and in doing so the speed will come back. So we want about 50%. In the real aircraft it's going to be about 50. We'll see what we get. 50% should be about 100 knots. We're going to let the aircraft fly it as well. So we're going to arm, as we roll, so we're less than 90 degrees now, we're going to arm the localizer, and we're going to arm the glide slope. Just be fully coupled. It's a little bit too fast still. I'm just going to knock it back down to 45%, see what we get. Localizer's coming in. I'm going to help it by turning. It's actually captured now, so it's captured the localizer. And just waiting for the glide slope now. So we're at 2,000 feet with the correct height. Capture the localizer. Just do some finals checks. Landing gears down locked, 3 greens, heaters off, outs run out, set, 200's bugged, QNH is set, landing site, we're cleared for the ILS, and that's final approach check's complete. Just turn the landing light on. I missed that somehow. What have we got? 7.5 miles, so that glide slope should be coming in pretty soon. 100 knots is good. Looking for that glide slope to start moving. Once it gets to half scale, hopefully a little bit before that we'll have captured. And as it starts to descend, I'm going to reduce the power by 10%. That should hold our speed around 100 knots, but allow the aircraft to descend. So you see the glide slope indication here and here coming nicely now. That's half scale. through 6 miles, so we should be descending now, really. And I'm going to, there we go, it's captured, and I'm going to reduce torque now down to about 35%, because it's putting the nose down now to try and hold that glide slope, and I'm just going to help it with a reduction of power. I'm just trying to do nice, smooth, gentle movements so we don't overwhelm it. It was a fairly rudimentary AFCS system, the Dauphin. And you've got to treat it with kindness. So approach 4 miles, should be about 1,360 feet, which we are not. I don't know what's going on right now. I am wondering, what's our altitude? Oh, our rad height is wildly different. So I think, guys, I'm going to get this to match. I think we're actually somewhat lower. I think the QNH has changed. When I took it off live weather, I think we're probably on 1013 now, which I'll set. Okay, that looks better. I think when I changed the weather, it reset to 1013. Might have explained what was happening on the heli deck. I'm not sure. Anyway, we're all set. Looks good. That's what those checks are there for, is to make sure that you spot something out of the ordinary. Those check heights. Anyway, we've got about what are we on? 800 feet passing. Check's complete. We're just coming up to 500 feet to go. It's raining quite heavily outside. I can remember what the windscreen wipers. There we go. That's the bind for the windscreen wipers. And we'll assume single pilot. So what we're doing now is monitoring instruments, but just glancing up, looking sort of visual references, so that we can make a successful landing. And we're going to land regardless. So we'll see what we can do. If I'm picking up some surface details now. So there's 100 feet to go. Got some surface details now. I'm just looking ahead for some lights. That's minima. I'm going to call that visual. Continuing. I'm just going to... There we go. Got the leading lights there. I take the autopilot out now. We're on to force trim release. And that's probably not what I wanted to do because of the situation. I'm going to take force trim release is off again. I'm just going to beep it. And we're going to try and make sure we stay within the confines of the runway. Keep it gently trickling down. Nice minimum weather conditions there. Keep the speed trickling back. 50 feet. Gradually introduce the power. Let's get rid of this plate. We can go force trim release now. And there we go. We'll go... where are we? I'm not sure which taxiway. I think we've missed Delta. I think this is probably 3-1. So we'll just take 3-1 and Alpha back to our pad. Oh, was that? That could be Delta? I'm not sure. We'll just take 3-1. It's more recognisable by the fact that it's a runway crossing this one. There we go. Yep, need those Vipers. I think we'll run it on there. So less than 5 on the nose, wheels down, brakes are off. I'm just going to let the aircraft... Brakes are on? No, brakes are off. What's going on here? So it's okay, so it seems whenever I'm in contact with the ground, it just motors me back somehow. Ah, it's weird. I wonder if it's got anything to do with the... That is weird. So it seems to me like this, something was happening with this. It could be a bind somewhere that is interfering. I had a feeling it was that. Yeah, I think there'll be a binding somewhere. I'll have to find out what that is, because I've not had that before. I don't think I've changed anything. Oh well. Let's do after landing checks. The FCS needs to come out for one thing. As we taxi back, after landing, FCS, nose wheel, parking brake, radar, transponder. Yeah. Try to do this on the move. Should really just come to a stop. That can go back to standby. After landings, radar transponder steps can go open, and external lights can remain on. How do you know the position of your landing light inside the helicopter? Oh, you don't really. The only way to do it, to ensure that it's pointing straight ahead, is to retract it, because it auto centers itself, and then just bring it back out again. That's the only way you know it's straight. That's what we used to do anyway. All over the place, this taxi. Okay. Right, then I can go off. Come on, keep rolling. I'm just going to park it back on the pad. show us there. Parking brake's gonna go on. Right, after landing dash, yes, that's done. Cruise taxi, parking brake, collective locked, landing lights on. Seatbelt notices, there's nobody back, so that's it. On to shutdown. Just to sunny Blackpool. Yep. that's what it is. Shutdown checks. Parking brakes on. The collective is locked, or is not locked. I don't think they actually have a lock in this at the moment. Hopefully that's coming. Landing lights are off. Radios, navigate, and radar. So we go through. We turn all these things off. Radios, navigate, radar. Don't have a radar. Overhead panel switches. That's off. Pitos can go off. That's all fine. Can probably go off now. I used to be able to do this all by memory. It's amazing how quickly you forget. Overhead switches, only control switches, well, control levers in this case, off and off. So all we're going to do is bring these back one at a time. Idle, off. And off. Grab the horn. So it's slowing down, cooling down. Well, cooled down completely, seems. It winds down very, very slowly. That's a Microsoft thing. They can't do anything about that. So we're going to whack the rotor brake, even though it's above. So you shouldn't turn the rotor brake on above this triangle here. But it takes about 3 hours to slow down if you don't do that. So. Where are we? Shut down. That's done. Energy control switches are off. Inverters can go off. Off. That should be off as well. Can we turn this off? Oh, box. I don't know how to turn this off. Inverters done. Piston pumps off. 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 Come on, off. Okay, so I should have left that on. Things I forget. Just in case, for some reason, as you shut it down, you get a fire, you want one radio on to tell somebody that you're a flaming ball of helicopter. That can go off now as we don't appear to be on fire. There's no arms to download. Batteries can go off. Oh, the generator should come off. When did the generators go off? Oh, I missed that. Oh, interesting. Maybe they're always on. I thought the inverters were always on. Anyway. Batteries. Off, off. Standby horizon. I've turned that off already. That can go off now. All remaining switches. And safety pin goes back in the landing gear. Voltmeter not on battery. So you just check that this voltmeter switch is not set to the battery, because believe it or not, so it should actually show what the battery is even with everything off. Believe it or not, if that's set on battery, it can actually draw a very tiny current while the aircraft's off. So you make sure that that's not on battery before you walk away from it. And that is that's that. I should have opened the door to get out. Can't get used to being ethereal. And I'm just going to leave my co-pilot in there and go and get a cup of coffee. There's no door. That's a shame. Stand out here in the rain then. Okay. And that's pretty much where we start the stream. Okay. Right. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that little insight into offshore flying. It's a shame we had that issue on the deck with this must be a binding somewhere that started as, you know, that amazing sort of trolley function that Taog has. For some reason, just decided to start motoring backwards. I'm still not quite sure where that binding is, but I'll find it. But otherwise, it's good fun. And on that note, I'm going to say goodbye. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.